Decentralization explained. Decentralization is one of the words that's used in the crypto economic space the most frequently, and is often viewed as a blockchain's entire raison d'etre. But it's also one of the words that is perhaps defined the most poorly. Thousands of hours of research and billions of dollars of hash power have been spent for the sole purpose of attempting to achieve decentralization and to protect and improve it. And when discussions get rivalrous, it's extremely common for proponents of one protocol or protocol extension to claim that the opposing proposals are centralized as the ultimate knockdown argument. But there's often a lot of confusion as to what this word actually means. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Metaverse Economy channel. In this video, I will explain everything there is to know about the decentralization in the blockchain platform, its importance and its benefits. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to catch more videos like this. In blockchain, decentralization refers to the transfer of control and decision-making from a centralized entity, individual, organization, or group thereof, to a distributed network. Decentralized networks strive to reduce the level of trust that participants must place in one another and deter their ability to exert authority or control over one another in ways that degrade the functionality of the network. Decentralization is not a new concept. When building a technology solution, three primary network architectures are typically considered: centralized, distributed, and decentralized. While blockchain technologies often make use of decentralized networks, a blockchain application itself cannot be categorized simply as being decentralized or not. Rather, decentralization is a sliding scale and should be applied to all aspects of a blockchain application. By decentralizing the management of and access to resources in an application, greater and fairer service can be achieved. Decentralization typically has some trade-offs, such as a lower transaction throughput, but ideally the trade-offs are worth the improved stability and service levels they produce. To understand the term decentralized system, we first need to understand what a centralized system is. Informally, a centralized system is one in which some central authority like the government is responsible to all aspects of economy, including minting money, taking taxes on profits, allowing banks to handle accounts for the citizens, and putting regulations and so on. Almost everything is based on government laws and policies. The vast majority of money transactions are passing through one or more third-party entities, like the banks, who then audit and store all the details for later dispute handling, accrediting, and law enforcement monitoring purposes. Having the notion of a centralized monetary system in mind, we can now tell that a decentralized system is one that's missing the central authority and still is able to work properly as if there indeed was a central authority behind. The requirement to work properly is a bit vague and depends on the financial and law policies that each country applies to its system. That is, in most of the countries, a monetary system that works properly should feature some form of taxation. This also could be different from one country to another. However, in all countries or federations, a decent and controllable money minting procedure is a crucial and pivotal property for the monetary system to have. The Bitcoin system is said to have this last property. Whether it features other important properties like taxation and regulation is subject to interpretation and maybe adaptation of newer sophisticated versions of the system. Every blockchain protocol, decentralized application, DAPP, decentralized autonomous organization, or other blockchain-related solution adopts varying levels of decentralization. The adoption level is typically based on the maturity of the solution, the time-proven reliability of its incentive models and consensus mechanisms, and the ability of the founding team to strike the right balance. For example, many DAOs have various components at different stages of decentralization. Oracles or third-party services that provide smart contracts with external information may be partly decentralized. Smart contracts might be fully centralized, while the governance process for adjusting parameters is community-driven and decentralized. On a broader scale, decentralized blockchain solutions are being explored and adopted by organizations of every type, size, and industry. Some notable examples include applications that provide immediate foreign or emergency aid to those who need it most, without the mediation of a bank, government, or third-party entity. Or applications that give people the ability to manage their own digital identities and data. Today, social media platforms, companies, and other organizations sell this information without the individual seeing any benefit. A decentralized approach would help make it equitable for all. Another concept that is fast growing thanks to decentralization is decentralized finance, DeFi for short. The term decentralized finance or DeFi goes back to a Telegram chat in 2018. That's when a group of software developers and entrepreneurs were trying to decide what to call their movement of new breed financial services that would be automated, built on a blockchain and capable of stripping out traditional banks. 3 years later, and DeFi is a big business. A user with a crypto wallet can trade digital assets, get loans or take out insurance, among many other things. Some $90 billion of collateral is locked up in these services, and more than 10 million people have downloaded MetaMask, one of the most popular digital wallets used to open up access to these networks. The roots of decentralized finance come from the 2008 Bitcoin white paper that set out the framework for a novel system for digital cash. Those creations exploded into something bigger when Ethereum was invented a few years later. Bitcoin wanted to be peer-to-peer money, while Ethereum wanted to be peer-to-peer everything. Decentralized finance, or DeFi, is a system by which financial products become available on a public decentralized blockchain network that makes them open to anyone to use rather than going through middlemen like banks or brokerages. Unlike a bank or brokerage account, a government-issued ID, social security number, or proof of address are not necessary to use DeFi. More specifically, DeFi refers to a system by which software written on blockchains makes it possible for buyers, sellers, lenders, and borrowers to interact peer-to-peer or with a strictly software-based middleman rather than a company or institution facilitating a transaction. One of the core tenets of decentralized finance is that it's, well, decentralized. Take Bitcoin, for example. The original crypto asset is basically a ledger. It's blockchain. That it's decentralized because the transactions are recorded in a database on so many different computers. That single record stored across many databases is secured with cryptography, and the computers keep tabs on each other to make sure it hasn't been tampered with. Decentralization is part of what makes Bitcoin hard to kill. No single party's in charge, so it's nearly impossible for someone to go rogue and change the rules that govern the virtual coin. Likewise, even if a government manages to prevent a bunch of computers from supporting Bitcoin, the digital asset can continue functioning because other computers on the network retain a full record of transactions and can carry on running the show. DeFi takes this concept a step further. Decentralized exchanges and lending systems use blockchains like the Ethereum network, which was proposed by Canadian-Russian programmer Vitalik Buterin in 2013. Whereas the Bitcoin blockchain was designed to keep track of Bitcoin transactions, Ethereum's blockchain was created to host programs. Think of Ethereum as a decentralized computer that software developers can make applications, dApps for. The computers that provide processing power for Ethereum are rewarded with Ether, which is now the second most valuable crypto asset behind Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin, the Ethereum network is hard to shut down or corrupt. Anyone with an internet connection can access it. The decision-making or governance at DeFi organizations, from the fees they charge users to the products they offer, is meant to be decentralized. If the US political system is a representative democracy, think of DeFi as a direct democracy. A single person or a small group of people might be driving a decentralized application at inception, but they often seek to step away as the project gains momentum, handing control to the community that uses it. That transition could be in the form of a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, which has its rules and regulations embedded in programming code and may issue governance tokens, which gives holders of those coins say in decisions. Decentralization makes DeFi difficult to censor or stamp out, but it requires some heavy-duty computing. Maintaining a database and records across a network of many computers slows things down and can make transactions more expensive. Ethereum is the most popular blockchain for DeFi applications, but the sheer amount of computing now taking place is driving up fees and bogging down the network. As Ethereum developers try to find ways to make it more scalable, other chains like Solana and Avalanche are picking up momentum. Decentralized finance comes with all the pros you can think of. For example, DeFi strips out intermediaries like custody banks, which are expected to keep assets, usually digital tokens, safe. That means you don't have to worry about a financial institution failing and taking your holdings with it, or a government seizing your tokens and confiscating them. On the other hand, the only thing keeping your holdings safe is you and your passcode. If you lose that passcode or someone steals it, your assets are gone for good. Still, the pros of decentralization in blockchain and decentralized finance outweighs the cons. As the world innovates, the influence and benefits of decentralization will become more evident in several aspects of society. Blockchain and the continuous popularity and growth of cryptocurrency is at the forefront of this. What do you think? Will decentralization become a major drive in the financial sector as people look to seize control of their wealth? Or will it just be another concept that falls flat with time? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video useful, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe.